Hello friends and gamers, my name is Jinx, and welcome to the first turn of Operation Hats. Operation Hats is one of 4 games going on that's part of a larger tournament structure. There's Operation Hats, Operation Neptune, Operation Akagi, and Operation Tripits. The winners of these 4 games will move on to the next tier, where there will be 1 or 2 games in that tier, and the tournament winner will be declared. Now, it's part of a larger tournament structure that we plan on having an annual tournament every year for Global War 1936. So, unlike some of my other videos, I'm going to kind of keep these a little bit streamlined, not talk about things too much, and try to keep things as relatively quick and efficient as I possibly can, so the ease of the flow of the game. We're trying to finish this game in 3 months, so everybody's turn being brief is going to be nice and handy. So, the other players I have at this table is myself, of course, as Germany and Italy. Then we have, as the Russians, we have 5-star general. We have Trig as the Japanese. We have David Lysander as, I think he's playing as the British as well as the French. And lastly, we have MP7 playing as the Americans. I might have those last two backwards, but that's basically the rollout of how we have here. I think it'd be a lot of fun playing this game. So we start off as the Germans, and so let's get started with what they produce. I've changed some of the features in this game, some of the little graphics just for fun. We're going to lend lease, we have 20 bucks to spend. We're going to lend lease a fighter to the Nationalist. We're going to upgrade our medium factory in Eastern Germany to a major and purchase a German light tank. So that's what's going on. Now for combat movements, I suppose one of the ones that qualifies is annexing these territories. So we're going to annex using a cavalry from Berlin. We're going to annex Austria. I need to reach over here and grab myself a roundel, which will grab this one perhaps. A roundel and place it over top of our territory here in Austria. Now, of course, that means we get to change up this infantry, and we get to boost up our income as well by 2 because of this. So we're going to pop over here. So German income goes from 20 to 22. All right, that is a combat move there. And now we're going to go take a look at the Nationalists. Now we end up playing here as Nationalists as well. And so we've got one battle plan. From Western Andalusia, we're going to send an infantry to Eastern Andalusia. From Galicia and Leon, we're going to send cavalry to Eastern Andalusia. And our fighter is going to go from Galicia and Leon to Eastern Andalusia to engage the Republicans, cavalry and infantry present in this area. Now, that is our only combat move that we're doing for these guys. And we're going to roll for them. I did bring a dice tower over on this side, so I'm going to just clone this dice tower and put it here. I personally prefer dice tower, but by no means do my opponents need to feel obligated to roll a dice tower either. It's perfectly fine either way they do it. So my attacking force is going into mountains, so we're going to have 1 here for 6. Then we're going to have cavalry, which is going to be at 2, and infantry at 1. So that's going to be representative by those 3 dice. So we're going to roll these guys out. I feel like the dice are really small in this. So increase their size here. Roll them down the chute. We have no hits. No hits altogether. So we're going to put these off to the side. For our opponents, they have 1 cavalry at 2, rather, and then 1 infantry at 4. So there's a decent chance that they're going to score a hit in this first round. I'd assume 1 hit somewhere there. And they don't score either hits. So there's that. Okay, now we're going to go on to round 2. Let's see if our lack of bad luck holds. And there's 1 hit here, purple. What do we have here? 2. So let's see. We missed on the infantry, we hit on the cavalry, and we hit on the aircraft. So there's 2 hits. We've won this battle one way or another. And now as for our enemy, let's see what the rolls are. Keep in mind we are doing a teal for the infantry. So the infantry misses and the cavalry also misses. So we succeeded quite handily in Spain, taking off 2 of their casualties for no losses of our own. So that's pretty good news on our side of things. Again, just delete these. Normally I enjoy keeping tallies of different things and marking who conquered what territory, but I'm not going to do it in this game. Sometimes it's fun to mark what the casualties are and how the dice rolled out. But in today's game, it's not going to happen. Alright, so we've captured that territory, and that's our only combat move that we're going to do. I'm going to send non-combat our cavalry, our aircraft back to that position. And now as for non-combats, we're going to pick up these, we're going to move infantry from Galicia and Leon to Western infantry. We're going to pick up these 2 units here from Spanish Morocco on artillery and infantry. and they're going to come over and move themselves into port here in Galicia and Leon. And of course, we're going to drop off these units present right there. I'm going to just copy this import marker and move my units on top of it. And that takes care of the Spanish nationalists. Now we need to quickly count how many territories they have. I don't believe it's very much. Oh, they actually put some roundels right here, nice and close by. That's very handy. So we have 1, 2, 3 territories here, and of course we have a 4th and 5th over here. So we need to roll a 5 or less to succeed on these dice rolls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 or less to succeed on these dice rolls. So I'm going to come over to this dice tower. Let's see what the results are. A success. So we've managed to get what we wanted. We're going to get an infantry. And I think we're going to put our infantry over in Galicia and Leon, I think. There, and then we're going to bring in our Lend-Lease, and it's going to deposit it here in Galicia and Leon. So we got a sizable army for the next round. That's quite nice. I've had a lot of luck here so far with the Spanish. All right, moving our attentions to non-combat moves in the rest of Germany. It's going to be pretty straightforward. From Bavaria, German transport, air transport is going to move into Western Germany. Our aircraft from Berlin are also going to come into Western Germany. Then we have a few units moving from Berlin to Eastern Germany, 2 infantry, 1 light armor, 1 artillery, and 1 anti-aircraft. From Eastern Germany back to Berlin, 1 militia, and from Western Germany, 1 artillery and 2 infantry. So a sizable force has moved into that territory. From Königsberg, we're going to send 2 infantry to Western Germany via transport, naval transport. All these ships are going to come across to this position, and we're going to park a sizable portion of the fleet in port. But we're going to first detach a battle cruiser and a submarine, and they're going to go 4 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4 to A28 from A11, I believe it is. Okay, and the rest of this fleet goes here in port in, what would it be, Wilhelmshaven or Hamburg, I suppose would be the two. And I believe that about does it for all of our moves across the board. We just need to put our units on the board. Now, a question quickly would be, Austria, our infantry could probably move. In that case, we're going to move from Austria, our 2 infantry, up to Bavaria. And that's what we'll do. And that takes care of that. All right, now our income is, oh, of course, we have to upgrade our factory here in Eastern Germany and put our light armor, which we're going to put in Berlin, I think. And there we have it. So a few little purchases in here and there. Now our income now is 22 because we've annexed Austria. And of course, I believe our opponents go up equally there. So let's take a quick peek at our opponents here. We have the British, wherever they're at, go from 11 to 12, and the French go up from 6 to 7. So there's that. We also need to roll for technology. Now, you may have noticed, and you've already been pounding on your keyboards, commenting, saying how I've missed technology. Well, it's a deliberate choice to leave it to last, since it's somewhat of a crucial die roll. It's one of those anti-cheating measures that we've employed as a tournament to kind of either use a dice roll mechanic from online, like play-by-email type of thing, on Discord specifically, or we roll it last is one of the 2 options. So this is what we're going to do here. I think for the final stages, I will still roll it on the play-by-email thing, but for the first few stages, it's going to be fine. The reason I'd say the last stage is not because I don't trust my system here, it's because that it's more crucial to know at the start of your turn as opposed to the end for the completed stage, right? So I'm going to roll it here at the final stage. I'll roll a little later. Okay, so here's 3 dice rolls. Now they color matched, of course, so yellow's improved construction, advanced artillery is advanced mechanized is teal. It'll say on the dice itself, so we'll roll for that. Okay, I'm gonna shuffle it a few times, and that one doesn't count. I'll throw it down and shoot. Altogether, not great. We got advanced artillery is bumped up, but everything else has stayed in place. So advanced artillery is now a stage 1. Nice. And that, gentlemen, is all there is to it for Germany's turn number 1. I don't think I'm missing anything of too crucial standing. Let me just quickly do an oversweep of the situation here. We don't have any units abroad. We do have one thing that just occurs to me, is to place a unit from this position here on the board. I actually duplicate this by putting some units here. So the submarine that was already in the place unit chart gets placed on the board, and that will be in port here. That's it, gentlemen. Very straightforward, very simple, nothing too much to it. I will talk to you all later, and may the best player win, or perhaps the luckiest player. Cheers!